it is, the Beretta SL2. So, from what I gather, and I know a couple of people that have shot this, they say that the shooting experience is very smooth indeed. And as you know, Beretta are very creative people, and it just goes to show that they're doing all the CNC, all the rest of it. There's been tests, and I'll show you these, I'll put them up on the screen, to say that all this that's gone into the barrels, the Stellium Pro X, which is one up from the Stellium Plus, one up from the Stellium Pro. Massive forcing cones apparently to here, and then if I show you the size of the chokes, which you wouldn't believe, let's look in the box, which was quite nice. I do want to give this a fair review, but please be honest. Let me know what you think. Look at the size of those chokes. This is going to be the next competition winner for Beretta. How do we know? Well, let's have a look. Apparently, all this locking system and all this top bit is based on the SO10. It's all handmade in the SO factory. And the weight is the same as the DT11. Obviously, there's no Kirsten locking bolt on here. We'll have a closer look at the action and all that in a second. Apparently the weight is exactly the same. It feels nice in the hand, feels easy to handle. But there are a couple of bits which, for a start, I'm not overly keen on the wood at all. I suppose it goes nicely with the grey. You'll remember the first one of these was really, really black, with that sort of zombie green writing on it. I like this sort of cut off kind of a forend. Grip feels nice. But what I would be doing for £19,999 this gun comes in at, really, I think you should be looking at the custom stock. And you can get those for, I've heard it's 2% extra, which comes in at around £400, I think. And then you get to choose your own wood and get it fitted to yourself. And I would imagine that's what Beretta would like people to be doing. I want to give this as fair a review as I possibly can. You can see for yourself. Let me know what you think to it. All this cut off here is quite good for an increased sight picture. We've seen shades of this on the 694 where they've just kind of cut it away. This is all sort of it's like a very fine file cut. I don't know if you can see that there. And I like how the trident arrows are there, look. The rest of it, this kind of sweeping through. The prominent hinge pin, obviously, very Beretta indeed. But I want to see what other people think to this, and I'm hoping that Chris is about to tell me what he thinks, because he's actually shot it, which I haven't, and that's what it all boils down to, really. It's about performance. So if this can use all the technology to help shooters shoot better, maybe not Perazzi off the top spot, I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I've just come back from the factory, and as you rightly say, we were lucky enough to shoot it, but prior to that we had a tour of how they're making it, how they're putting it together, and really it's the same build quality as an SO. It's made in the SO department, the finishing is all done by hand, the barrels are finished by hand, the jointing is done by hand. Yes, it's a lot of money. They think they're going to sell it to some exclusive owners. After shooting it, I think competitors will buy it because there was a definite lack of recoil. We went to Lanata to try the guns, and at first I think, yeah, it's okay. But they gave us 24-gram cartridges. So I said, well, sorry, find me some 28, or find me some 32.
See how it kicks.
So they went off and they came back with 28-gram cartridges, and instantly I noticed the lack of recoil, which is what this gun is going to sell on, whether you're a trap shooter, skeet shooter, sporting clay shooter, game shooter, there is a definite lack of recoil due to these new X barrels and the way they've designed the chokes and the forcing cones. And I think competitors will buy it rather, although it's a lot of money, competitors will buy this because, as you rightly say, for 2% extra, you can pick your own wood, you can send them the measurements, you can go to the factory and have the measurements, they will then make it to your gun. There is a downside, they are going to be exclusive. I don't expect to see more than 2 this year. I have ordered a few, available in trap, skeet, sporting, 30, 31 and 32. But because it's hand built, it's a very, very limited production. So
Didn't know they were doing a skeet version.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I've ordered one.
Have you?
Yeah.
What do you think to the wood, Chris, be honest?
What we're looking for as a competitor is straight grain through here to absorb recoil, but they're using grade 4 wood. When you cut into wood, you don't know how it's going to turn out. They can't very well cut the wood and they go, oh, that's not really good enough, we'll put it on something else.
No, but they could finish
there
it.
is well, that's also an arguing where, and that is available if you want a high gloss or an English oil finish, that is available, but it's Beretta, it's an extra cost. And the whole price list hasn't been released as yet, but you can have it finished as you want. But wood is unusual. I like high gloss. People like matte, people like semi-gloss, but now you can have whatever makes you happy. So, but I was impressed with the shooting of it. I thought it was good. In fact, I was so excited, I nearly ordered one. I thought, at your age, Chris, you don't need a new gun. But no, it's going to be interesting when we get it out. There were some shooters. It has been over here for a while with one of the Beretta sponsored shooters, James Bradley Day, and he's loaned it to a couple of people, and they've all said, "Wow, this works."
I like this bit here. Do you like this?
Yeah.
That's really growing on me. Just watching you handle it. It does. It's a nice bit of design that. It's fuss free. It does feel nice in the hand. It's just the proof of the pudding and all that.
Exactly. Till they get out there, until we get people shooting, until we get a demonstrator that.
And I suppose the finger goes nicely there. You know.
Yeah. Well, I was impressed. I was out there for 2 days. Once they showed us the technology, what goes into this gun, I came away ordering guns because I was very, very impressed with it. So yeah.
Well, let's see what happens with it.
Yeah. And worst thing is we're going to have to wait a while before we get our hands on them.
You better have it back. Thanks, Chris. It's a nice case, isn't it? Look at that.